Hi, so welcome to another yoga session. So for the moment we're going to focus on some balancing postures. So just to start with, we'll just stand in Tadasana. So this is where your feet are hip distance apart. So just raise up your toes and place them all back down onto the mat. And just feel that even balance between the front and the back of your feet. And just start by feeling the front of your thighs, the energy on the front of your thighs, lifting up your kneecaps, drawing up from the floor and having your pelvis in what feels like a neutral position, so not too far on back or forward, and then just lifting up out of your pelvis all the way to the top of your head, bringing your shoulders up to your ears and back and down, and then just tucking back those ribs so they're not flaring out to the front. Bring them towards your spine and pulling in your navel and just sending your energy into your fingers. So just close down the eyes for a moment. So just really tune into the sensation of your feet on the floor. Just taking a few moments of stillness here, really grounding down through your feet, feeling that connection with the floor, and then rising up out of your pelvis, lifting up the spine, creating that space into Tadasana mountain pose. We'll just spend a few moments here, just noticing the breath coming in through your nose and out through your nose. Just tuning into any sensations in your body, noticing if you're holding on to any areas of tension at all. Just taking some really nice gentle breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. So maintaining this feeling of stability in your feet, take your balance over to your left foot. So really feel like that is your stable foundation, and we're going to go into tree. So there's a few variations here. So first of all, you can just take your right foot and just rest the heel against your ankle, and then you can bring your hands into prayer. Again, feel like you're lifting up out of your pelvis, your shoulders are away from your ears, and if you wish you can bring your arms up overhead and have your hands together. So I'm just going to keep mine in prayer. Or from here, you can see if you want to bring your right foot up onto your calf. Now, be careful you don't put it onto your knee. Just put it onto your calf. So it helps to focus on a spot in front of you to maintain your balance. And feel like you're really opening out your pelvis here. Again, you can have the option of your hands in prayer or above your head. So just really try and focus on the spot in front of you to maintain your balance. And if you wish, there's the option to bring that right foot onto the top of your thigh. So maybe take a bend in your left knee, just very slightly, so you're not locking that left knee out. So again, focusing on the spot in front of you. And just feel like you're taking that right knee out to the right hand side, but your pelvis, if it had some headlights, would be shining straight ahead. So just tune into your breath for a moment. Tree is a great pose to try and focus the mind. Lovely, and then inhale and then exhale. Just very gently take that right foot back down to the floor. And this time we'll take our weight into the right foot. So maybe lift up the toes of the right foot and place them back down again. So option here to bring your left heel to rest on your right ankle. If you're hypermobile, you do want to make sure you've got a slight bend in the knee so you're not locking those knees out. So just take a slight bend in the standing leg. Again, option to bring that left foot onto your calf, so not onto your knee. Make sure it's down on your calf muscle. And maybe that's enough for you, you want to stay here. Or alternatively, you can bring that left foot to rest on your right thigh. Again, focusing on a spot in front of you. Think about opening out across your pelvis, that left knee going out to the side. Remember, maybe just take a slight bend in the right knee. Option to have your hands above your head or in prayer. And if your arms are above your head, then make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. So just tuning into your breath. So just one more inhalation and exhalation, and then very gradually just take both feet back down to the floor. And I'll just move sideways so you can see me. So still with your feet both feet grounded into the floor. We'll just move into chair. So bringing your arms down by your side, breathe in and breathe out, and just feel like you're taking your bottom towards an imaginary chair. So you're lowering down, but you're raising your arms and lifting up your chest. So it may be that you can have your arms higher, or you may just want to have them out in front of you, or even in prayer position. So just find an option that works for you. So just holding yourself in this position for a few breaths. And then we'll just bring a bit of movement into the breath. So breathing in, raising up, and breathing out, just sweeping the arms behind you, maybe taking that slight bend in the knee, breathing in, raising up, breathing out, take your arms behind you again, breathing in, we'll just do it one more time, breathing out, take those arms behind you, and then breathing in, we'll meet back in chair. And then just step your feet slightly closer together and bring your hands into prayer position. So sitting back slightly in your chair. Then inhale again, feel like you're lifting your spine up out of your pelvis. And we'll take our right elbow over towards our left knee. So it might be that you don't feel like you're open enough in your spine to take your right elbow down. That's fine. You can just stay lifted, but just imagine you're twisting from your lower back, your middle back and your upper back, and you're really pushing your palms together. And if you feel more open, you can take that right elbow towards your left knee, but just check in with your knees that they're not moving at all. So try and keep your knees together as you twist over to the side, and pushing your palms together helps open out your chest. So we'll just hold for a couple of breaths. Lovely, and then from here, inhale, come back to centre and just gradually move over to the other side. So this time taking your left elbow to your right knee and pushing into your palms, and gently send your chest as if it's twisting towards the ceiling. So stretching out your side body. And then inhale, coming back up to centre. So again, staying where you are with your hands again in Tadasana, so mountain pose. So we'll just move into eagle. So from here you can take your left leg and ground it down into the mat, and then just moving your right leg across your left. So it may be that you just want to place your toes on the mat to the side of your left foot, or if you're feeling open, you can see if you can hook your right toes around your left leg. And then bringing your arm straight out in front of you, taking your left arm over your right, so crossing over at your elbows, and maybe your palms can touch, and that might be enough, or if you can get the back of your hands can touch, and maybe your palms can come together. So really think about pushing into your elbows forwards and up, and sinking down slightly. So again, imagine that you're staring at a spot in front of you, trying to maintain your balance. Lovely, and then inhale, releasing the arms, releasing the legs, and bringing your feet, both feet back down to the mat. And this time you're rooting down with your right leg. So bringing your left leg around. Maybe it's just touching to the outside, your toes are touching to the outside of your right foot. Or maybe just taking a slight bend in the knee, you can hook those left toes around your calf. So just find what works for you. And then bringing your arm straight out in front of you. This time you're taking your right arm over your left. So I have issues with my shoulder, so it's more comfortable for me to have my hands together. But if you wish, you can bring your hands together, your backs of your hands together, or your palms. I'm just going to have mine in prayer here and just sink down. So remember, if your arms are crossed, to feel like you're pushing your elbows forwards and up. So just hold for a couple of breaths. Lovely, and then coming back up to centre. And then we'll just move into another balance where this time take your left leg onto the floor and bring your right foot towards the top of your left thigh. So if you want, you can just cross your legs and come down, or if you feel open in your thighs, it's a bit of a balance. Bring your right foot on the top of your left leg and just take a slight bend in the knee as if you're sitting back down in that chair, keeping your chest lifted. So you'll probably feel an opening in the back, potentially of the back of your right thigh. So keeping your chest lifted, tuning into your breath. So this is building strength in your standing leg, maybe feeling a bit of heat in your muscles. And then inhale, coming back up to standing and placing back down the right leg. And then this time again, you can just cross over your left leg over your right and bend, or if you wish, you can bring that left foot towards the top of your thigh. Just be careful of your knee, so you're twisting from the tops of your thigh, not your knee. Taking your hands in prayer and then just sinking down into a bit of a squat. Sitting back in that chair, keeping your chest lifted. Lovely, just another breath. Inhale, come to standing. And then move towards the top of your mat if you're not already. So again, having your feet hip distance apart here. Then hands in prayer, and then step back with your right foot. So you don't need to step back very far, but I want you to lift up your heel and place it back down. So depending on the flexibility or openness of your ankles, it may feel a bit tricky to have both your feet facing forward. So your back foot may be facing out at a slight angle, which is fine, but just think about your hips facing the top edge of your mat. So again, if you've got headlights on your hip bones, then you want them to be shining forwards. So your back leg is straight, and then breathing, and we start to lean into the front leg and lifting our arms up overhead. So again, think about those ribs, tucking them back towards your spine. Your front knee is not overshooting your toes, and just feel like you're sinking down with your lower part of your body whilst you're also rising up with the top, but keep those shoulders away from your ears. So this is warrior one. So just hold for a few breaths. Again, if it's too much for your shoulders and it feels more comfortable, you can have your hands in prayer. So we'll all meet with our hands in prayer in front of us, and then we'll move into warrior three, which is where you're balancing on your front leg and your right leg is up behind you. So maybe if you just watch for a moment, I'll demonstrate. So if you start to lean forward and then bring that right leg slowly back towards your left, and then raising it up if you can behind you. So taking maybe a slight bend in the front leg. So you may want to keep your hands in prayer or reach them out in front of you, or just maybe taking your thumb and your forefinger together and bringing it back behind you. So if you haven't already, just take the option of your choice. And if you feel wobbly, you can maybe just have your hands back down on the floor. So just hold for a couple of breaths. And then with grace, which I'm probably not going to do right now, is just bring that right foot towards your left. So you're back in mountain pose, your feet are both grounding down on the mat. Just bringing your hands down by your sides, lengthening in your spine. Lovely, and then from here we'll step back, this time with our left foot. So take our hands into prayer, just stepping that left foot back behind you. So again, your feet are both facing towards the top of your mat, but your back foot is probably out at a slight angle. So just find what feels comfortable for you, and then just bring both of your hips to face towards the top of the mat. So straightening out that back leg, taking an inhalation, and then start to bend towards the front leg, but this is not overshooting that leg. It's making sure that that front knee is in line with the heel and your torso is raising up. So again, you can have your arms above your head. I'm going to have my hands in prayer because my shoulder feels happier with that. So just holding for a couple of breaths. And then we'll move into whichever version of Warrior 3 you wish. So start to bring the weight into your front leg, gently bringing that back foot up off the mat. So focusing on a spot in front of you. So either keeping your hands in prayer or having your arms back behind you. So tuning into your breath, try not to hold your breath. Lovely, and then inhale in one gentle movement, bringing that left foot back to join your right. And then from here we'll just finish by taking a nice forward fold. So folding from the tops of the thighs, having your hands on your hips, breathing in and breathing out, leading with your head and your chest coming up and over. Bringing your hands down towards the floor. And just let gravity take hold, so just feel the weight of your head pulling you further towards the floor. Taking some really nice inhalations and exhalations. Lovely, and then from here just take your hands back onto your hips, then leading with your head and your chest, pushing into the mat with your feet. Inhale, bringing yourself back up to standing. So thank you very much for joining me in a short, sharp version of balances. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.